right.
What is going on, horror fanatics? Welcome to I Shot Him Six Times YouTube horror movie channel, as well as Destination Station. This is a dual live stream as we have some breaking news from the Scream franchise. We are going to get into it. We're not going to waste any of you guys' time. The mother load has been dropped on us, y'all. The Queen is back to rightfully claim her throne. But not only that, she brought an old friend with her. That is not only going to be, not only has he been a writer, the legendary writer of this franchise, but now he is going to be directing, sitting behind the very same chair that he used to admire Wes Craven sitting in. Kevin motherfucking Williamson. Guys, this is huge news. Huge news, as you guys already know. Like, this is going to be dominating the news probably for the next 1 to 7 days. Like,
until it comes out.
Everybody's going to have their videos getting cranked out. What's going to happen? I have an idea what's going to happen. I'm not going to share 100% details here on the stream as to what I feel the direction is going to be. We're just going to basically answer you guys' questions, share a little bit of thoughts and feelings on what just happened. And yeah, that's about it. Because I do want to, at least on my end, I want to save my thoughts and theories for a video because I have a lot. And it's a little bit too much to tell on the stream because I'm not going to lie. We're probably going to go to like 5 o'clock. I'm not going to stay on here too long. Just wanted to get on here for a few minutes, so about an hour maybe, and talk about this massive news that we got for Scream 7, the return of the Queen, the return of one of our kings in Kevin Williamson and in Neve Campbell, Sidney Prescott. Destin, how are you feeling about this, bro?
Man, words cannot describe how I'm feeling right now, man. Like, when I saw that news, I was like, I knew something was going to come out in March. I just had a freaking feeling, dude. Like, I was like, and when I saw it, I was like, oh, is this for real? And I went over to Instagram to Neve Campbell's page, and I was like, oh, this is legit. Oh, we're getting Kevin Williamson back too. So it's like a double whammy, man. This is fantastic. You can't say that the movie's not in good hands now with both of them on board. And this isn't the only news that's going to come out about this movie. This could lead into other OG characters coming back. I mean, this could lead to a lot of different things. Like, and we know that it's man, I can't even talk. I'm so excited. All right. So I was going to say was that Kevin Williamson, with him just being in that director's chair, he's going to have his hands in the writing room. He was a consultant on Scream 5 and Scream 6. He's going to have his hands in that writing room as well. So don't think that he's not giving Guy and James any ideas of what to put on the paper or like how to do things. Like he's definitely going to be very, very much involved.
Well, see, that's the thing. Did you see the official like script work from Neve's post?
It said Guy Busick for writing, and it said story.
Bill and Guy Busick for the story.
Yes,
that's huge.
That's very, very huge. That means Guy is taking the front.
Yes, but
go ahead.
You know what that means?
What?
You know what that means, Destin?
That means that he is a Stu truther, man. Like he's the biggest out of James and Guy. He's the main fan of these films. Between the two. So with them letting Guy take the front lead, who let that be the choice? That's what I want to know. Was that on Spyglass, or was that something that Neve or possibly even Kevin Williamson said, no, Guy needs to take lead here? That's what I want to know.
I'm just gonna make an assumption just from where I would be sitting from it if I'm Kevin Williamson. If I looked at the last two films from a writing's perspective, and I look at whose writing was better, because in my opinion, you can tell. You can tell who wrote what.
Right.
And if I'm looking at it from a writer's perspective, especially for this franchise, the franchise that me and Wes built, Guy is the better choice.
Yes.
He is. No offense to James. I've never felt that his style, whatever he likes to do, fit story-wise. There
Right.
was a lot of dialogue in there. We already know with the Baileys and all that stuff. That shit didn't make any sense. None of that made
Right.
sense. Now, and this is another big thing about having Kevin be the director, is in my opinion, he's not going to let that type of stuff happen. I feel
I
like
know.
as much as he is in directing, he's going to be in that writing room, penning out this story with Guy.
I do
Now,
too.
what is interesting is the story part that is written in that script, on Nev's post. Just because James is part of the newer Scream movies, and so is Guy, but just because their main story was, Samantha Carpenter, stuff like that, I do wonder if some of those elements, like, will there be, I'm pretty sure they'll probably just write him out, but will there be a mention, you know, and stuff like that? Like, that's what I do wonder, in terms of me looking at that from, okay, James Vanderbilt, God Busick's story. You know what I mean? The story was, brought up, by them. So it's going to be interesting to see. But man, we got the queen back, man. But real quick, I do want to acknowledge this chat. I'm going to get to some of you guys' comments here in a second, but I'm going to see what's up with Darth Chosen. What's up? Saying, what's up, bro? I'm going to be honest. I might have to pass on Scream 7. Don't get me wrong, Neve is a great actor, but they did Melissa dirty. I understand that. And, I've been vocal here on this channel and in previous streams talking about Scream 7 situation. I totally agree with that. But unfortunately, we have to move on. It was the same thing with Neve in Scream 6. They did her dirty with the money.
Right.
We didn't get to have her in Scream 6. It's now a reverse of the roles.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
and you didn't boycott. Most people didn't boycott Scream 6 knowing the numbers. I mean, it's the most financial one. So
right. But this is the difference, though, too, Darth Chosen. Scream 6 didn't have Kevin Williamson coming on to direct.
Right.
That dynamic alone. Could you, bro? I'll be seeing you in Texas in a couple months. That is going to be a Scream panel, and I'm sure you saw it. It's going to be a Texas Chainsaw themed.
Yep, they're coming back too. Yeah.
Well, and stuff. But can you imagine now that this news came out,
dude?
Bro.
Dude, how are they going to be able to top this? That's what I want to know. And I respect everybody's opinion. Darth Chosen, I respect your opinion. I get it. But if you were going to support this movie, now would be the time better than ever. Even though they did do Melissa dirty, they're at least doing Neve Campbell right, and they're bringing Kevin Williamson back on board. And we don't know who else is returning. There could be some very big secrets. You know what? They could pull a fast one on us, and Melissa could show up. We don't know that yet. We don't know who's all involved in this. Right. So and this is the hype. This is getting the hype started right now.
Yes. And that is something that is worth to note, because I did see, and shout out to Critical Overlord, if you happen to end up watching this stream. I did see Critical Overlord do a video the other day that apparently, I guess, Melissa told a fan at the convention that if Spyglass Media were to sell the rights, she would come back to Scream 7. Well, now, and you've seen it on the paperwork, Spyglass Media Group ain't selling shit. So It's like, if she did say that, I'm not saying that person's lying, you know what I mean? Because in all honesty, I believe that, because I've been at conventions and I know fans ask those type of questions. I know that for a fact. So I believe she did say that.
Yeah.
We know Neve, or at least rumor standpoint wise. Apparently she tried to get Melissa back. So to Destin's point, we don't know all the moving parts yet. We just know that Neve and Kevin are back. That's all we know. We don't know all the moving parts. For all we know, Kevin Williamson could even sway Gary Barber and say, listen, I need Melissa to be in this movie to make this entire universe and this entire storyline from the original timeline encapsulate and all make sense.
Yes.
And And in my opinion, that kind of does have to be done, because what did they do with that whole map in the promotion for Scream 6? Samantha Carpenter is connected to the entire fucking franchise. So
Right. They can't.
when
Yeah,
you
go
put it
ahead.
out
Go
there
ahead.
like that, you know, so I don't personally think she is going to be in Scream 7 as of right now. I personally think this is going to be an all-out legacy. It's either I'll give you guys this teaser as to what I'm feeling from what I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
put in my video. It's either going to be a direct 30-year sequel to the original. Remember, Kevin Williamson was a part of Halloween H2O. Or Scream 3's original story, Stu Macher,
Mm-hmm.
or we pick up from Scream 4.
Yeah. Yeah. All those are really possibilities.
Yes.
But I almost like I want that. Honestly, I'm okay with all that stuff, but I don't know if I want that for this film. I feel like I
Yes.
want them to stay continuation at least for this one. Let's wrap up whatever we were going to wrap up. Um, and we'll know that if we find out that like Jane, Jasmine Savoy Brown comes back, Mason Gooding comes back. Mason Gooding just said the other day that he hasn't gotten a call yet, so we don't know if they're going to have any type of involvement. They're going to be written out. Are they just going to be like a dialogue like Gail gave about Neve, about Sydney in Scream
Right.
6, saying like, oh, she deserves her happy ending, and it just boom, just like put that to the side for right now. We don't know how they're going to do that, you know.
Right.
I still want it to be a continuation. Scream's always been about continuation. It's always there is no jumping of the timelines or anything like that. Not yet. I think it is possible to do that in a respectful way, but I think with this next one, let's finish something up because we don't want all okay. Because here's the thing: with Scream 5 coming back, it made money. It was a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Scream 6 was definitely a hit, and Scream 6, I was hearing people talk about Scream again that like nobody, like average moviegoers that weren't even like big, huge fans of the franchise, was starting to talk about Scream. Like, hey, that was actually really good. We went and saw that this weekend, and everybody, and in the marketing on it was awesome. And I don't want them to lose that momentum or rip off a band-aid too quick to where it's jarring to that average movie goer because we got more fans now. We don't want to
Right.
make them all jump off board, all the new ones that were, Jenna Ortega fans or Melissa Barrera fans or just, horror fans. Like
Right.
I think that they need to keep it continue at least for this next one. Now, if they want to lead into a direct sequel to the original or a direct sequel to 4 or even do a new nightmare approach to Scream. We've talked about that. Like I'm
Yeah.
okay with those three kind of concepts and bringing back some of the characters that have died. And then being just older and then reconnecting or
Right.
something. I think that would be really cool to mess with. Um Dude, I have so many thoughts and so many
Me
theories
too.
going through my head that I
I
can't even
know.
like
It's
slow
it's fucking
down.
crazy. And who the fuck saw this coming? Kevin motherfucking Williamson. My boy said Scream 7 is in turmoil. Hold my motherfucking beer. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Listen.
He came to play.
He saved, in all honesty, he saved this.
Yeah.
He Neve Campbell, but honestly, Kevin Williamson just saved Scream 7
Yeah.
alone. Because I feel like if you would have gotten any other director, the only one I feel like would have had an impact to the degree because of the legacy of the franchise was your guy, Patrick Lussier.
Yeah.
That was the only one because of his tie into Wes, Kevin, the entire legacy of Scream.
Yeah.
Outside of that, if we would have gotten, the sick director that was rumored, to be in talks with, directing Scream 7, if we would have gotten anybody else, in my opinion, this news, even if it would have came with Neve news that, okay, she's back, but we're going to have this other director directed
Yeah.
outside of Christopher Landon, because we all were on board with Christopher Landon. If he
Mhm.
would have, been announced to come back, I feel like then, okay, we would have, it would have felt almost the same, but it still doesn't feel quite the same because this is
Right.
Kevin Williamson. This is the original writer. This is the legacy of Scream right here. So he
Yep.
single-handedly just saved this fucking project. Gary Barber, kiss his fucking feet. I'm sorry. He did. You know what I mean? Because he didn't have to say yes. He did not have to say yes. Obviously, Kevin sees something there to where he wants to be a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
And also to honor Wes's legacy. I honestly think that had a huge role in it. Honoring Wes's legacy.
Absolutely. And you're not going to expect like Kevin to film anything that he's like, oh, well, that doesn't make sense. Or, Kevin is such a smart writer. He's going to have his hand in that writer's room and be like, no, we need to go in that direction. We need to go in this direction. And, I know a lot of people are going to be talking about it, especially us, with Guy being the writer and Kevin Williamson being in the director's chair now, both of them Stu Truthers. And that was the original idea that Kevin wanted for Scream 3. This could happen. This could happen even more now. Like this could, they could tie it in. They could give because honestly, okay, what are we seeing here? Okay. We're seeing James Vanderbilt, at least from what we saw in the paper that Neve Campbell put on Instagram. It said James Vanderbilt and Guy on the story, but it only says written by Guy Busick, directed by Kevin Williamson. And if that's the case, dude, they are already listening to the fans. And that's a smart move. They need to do some fan service here. We needed Neve back. We need some legacy characters back. I wish we had Dewey back. I mean, it's.
I mean, you could do it if
at least in a. I always wanted to see. So, go ahead.
You said it 30 years later.
That's what I'm saying. You could do
after the events of Scream 4 and basically ignore Scream 5 and 6 in so many ways. I mean,
I always wanted to see a cameo of David Arquette doing like in Scream 6 of like bringing Kirby back, like it's a flashback of him saving her life or finding her bleeding out down there in the basement of Scream 4. And that's where we get our little cameo of Dewey, and we kind of get a heartfelt moment and sad. And maybe that's the reason why she got into law enforcement and the FBI, was because she looked up to Dewey after that point. Like, I don't know. That's just me from a writer's perspective. Like, that would have been a cool opportunity to just do a flashback. But Scream's not really about flashbacks. They never really have. I've always said that they could benefit from some. But if I would definitely accept it. I think we would all accept it if we could get a flashback of Dewey in some capacity. Like
I agree.
Man, I'm so excited, dude. You have no idea, dude. This is going to be. Now we don't know if this is going to be like a reboot of sorts, or if this is going to be just a continuation. Something tells me this is a continuation. We got Guy and James. It's still their story. Okay. So that's why I keep thinking this is still a continuation, because James and Guy are still on this script. So makes me think that we will get the Meeks twins back. We don't know how big their roles will be. But I do feel it. I think that they will be back just because of James and Guy being there and what they built with 5 and 6. So
I agree, bro. Everything you just said, especially from a Stu standpoint, when you look at Guy Busick and Kevin Williamson, you know what Kevin Williamson wanted to do with Scream 3 originally. This is the third movie in the new trilogy, if you will. So it's man.
It is, and is this one still going to mirror Scream 3? Is it going to mirror Scream 3 like the other ones mirrored Scream 1 and Scream 2? So that's what I'm wondering. It's like, is this going to be Kevin Williamson's opportunity to right all those wrongs, like making the movie that he always wanted to make? Especially bringing back legacy characters too, you know?
Yep. I agree.
So they could be mean.
22 people watching right now. That is what's up. You guys are turning out. Now 23. Let's go. Let's keep that number up. And if you guys haven't done so already, please shoot both of these streams. We're dual streaming. Go to Destin's channel, shoot the stream a like. Obviously, go to my channel right here on the bottom of this stream. Shoot that like button. It definitely helps out, guys. Like, this is such big news. it feels great to be a Scream fan again.
Yeah.
I'd like to always try to keep positive and feel like it's always great to be a Scream fan. But these were the darkest days for the franchise over the last few months. It really was. So shit feels good. And to touch on just another horror fan's comment from a little bit earlier, I had it pulled up here and I'm looking at it now. It says, love Neve, love Sydney, but Neve just showed her hypocrisy. I thought she had some morals, but obviously not money over morals. See, that's the thing though, or whatnot. And I know what you're referring to because she chose to come back to Scream because of what happened to Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I ask you, and I ask this question to everybody. Why didn't anybody say the same thing about Melissa and anybody else who did Scream 6 when they did Neve dirty?
Right.
Nobody said the same thing. Nobody came to the defense of Neve like that when they should have, and that's the truth. You know what I mean? You can't have it both. Like Melissa still did Scream 6 without Neve.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways, and
we don't know. It's not
money over morals. No disrespect, buddy, but go back and watch an interview with Jamie Lee Curtis and Neve Campbell where they talk about pay and what they were paid for certain sequels and to come back into iconic, multi-million, almost billion-dollar fucking horror franchises and how much they were paid. Mm-hmm. Neve Campbell was paid less to come back for Scream 3. Less. And she still did it. Came back for Scream 4. So you're talking about somebody who has financially, for the love of the fans and for the love of the franchise, taken pay cut after pay cut after pay cut. Kind of like the female version of Tom Brady in so many ways, just to see the fucking franchise win. She deserves her bag. She deserves her bag. She has a family. She has mouths to feed. I 100% don't hate on her for trying to get her money. And morals, if the rumors were true that she tried to get Melissa Barrera back in Scream 7, there goes her morals. She wasn't trying to do it without her. Right. She tried, it failed. What more? I'm not trying to sound like a douchebag or nothing like that. I'm not really trying to rant. But what more do you guys want from this woman? Like, really? Sometimes I feel like, I just feel like sometimes she gets so much shit for being a good person in this situation.
Right. Why? She drew her line in the sand. And she said, I'm not going over it. That's just, she felt like whatever it was, it worked because they met her demands. They met it. She's getting a fair, think about, this is like her making up her loss that she got on.
What's up, man?
Hey, man. I know everybody's excited about this.
Yeah, listen, I'm so behind in the chat. We got 27 people watching now. Like, guys, I'm trying to catch up with you all. You guys know how this goes. We're expressing how we feel. We're trying to catch up with you guys' comments and all that stuff. So if you do have a burning question that you do want to ask, send in a super chat. It goes to the front of the line. And real quickly, I think there is one here. Yeah, coming in from Chris Sims. $4.99, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Chris. Greatly appreciate the support. Chris says, Christmas comes early. Let's go, Sydney Prescott. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah. Damn it,
you got the queen back. Like, come on. I thought this is what we wanted for Scream 6.
Right.
Now,
right.
Like, now that we have her, like, we're going to be upset? Like, come on. Like, my thing is this.
Don't show up for Spyglass. Show up for Neve Campbell.
I know you got to go soon, Destin, so I'm going to say this real quick. Let the woman have her fucking time. You know what I mean? Let her write this character story out the way she wants to do it. She's earned that right. If you don't agree with how she handled it because of the Melissa situation, you're entitled to your opinion. But that has nothing to do with Neve Campbell. She is not in any control of that situation. That is between Melissa, whatever she's doing, that is not making the studio happy and the studio. You can't blame Neve for that. And I'm gonna leave it at that on that note when it comes to that. But thank you so much, Chris. And real quick, I will give you a clip. I uploaded a couple new ones.
Oh, cool.
Dog, say hi, everybody. Oh, it jumped on me.
Man.
Calm down, puppies.
Christmas did come early, Chris.
Hey, even the dogs are excited Neve is back. Look at that.
They're even excited, yeah. Yeah. And I'm telling you, this does not mean that Melissa's not back. We don't have, I mean, yes, she says she's not coming back because unless the stuff got, sold off from Spyglass. But Neve Campbell could talk to her. Kevin Williamson could talk to her.
Right.
There's ways to bring people on board depending on who's attached to the project. Right. And with Kevin Williamson being the director is probably one of the main reasons why Neve Campbell decided to come back. You want to support certain people that have built this franchise. So if you're not showing up because Melissa or Jenna or whatever situation, show up for Neve Campbell and Kevin Williamson. Support them. There's a lot of companies out there only in it for the money. They're only that's the business. That's the business. Yeah. But we're lucky. We're lucky that they're yeah.
You want to get ahead of Hollywood? You gotta play the game.
Gotta play the game. Yep.
Or go home.
Yep. and look, show up for them two alone.
Yes.
Honestly.
Now, I do have a clip here for your super chat, Chris. Greatly appreciate it, man. And I hope you enjoy this one.
What?
Oh.
That's like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought when I saw it. And I'm like, I gotta upload this one. Smacking the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Again, thank you so much, Chris, for your super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, so I am going to catch up with you guys' comments here because I know I'm a little bit behind. Yo, what's up, Sister Pam? Good to see you.
Sister Pam.
I ain't gonna lie, I had a feeling that you would show up at some point. Obviously, this is some fucking massive news. Let's go.
Sister Pam, I gotta get you. I gotta get her on the live stream for some Scream talk.
Yes, absolutely. Well, now let's kick this shit into high gear because now we got the news we all been waiting for. But the news, not only the news we've been waiting for, we've gotten extra, man. This is like, I don't even know what to say about it anymore. Like, this shit is crazy.
If you watch my video that I uploaded just a little while ago, I was like talking over myself. I was so excited. I was like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now. Just I'm excited.
Give me
best
one
news.
second.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Sister Pam, I already know. I'm looking forward to seeing some of her content. She's great over on TikTok and YouTube and everything.
Hell yeah.
She's a stew truther as well.
Yep, it's going down, y'all. Like, come on. It's going down. This shit don't happen for no reason.
Right.
Listen, I can only imagine. I'll ask you this, Destin, because I know you got to go soon, bro, and I wish you could stay a little bit longer.
I know, man. I got about 3 minutes.
I'll ask you this. Who do you think was brought into the interview room first? Like, how do you think this played out? Do you think Kevin was sitting there when Neve walked in? Or do you think Neve was sitting there when Kevin walked in? Like, how do you think this shit played out? Or do you think they both got the call like at the same time and they both ended up meeting at the studio and they're both like, hey, what's up? What are you doing here? Oh, yeah, hey, what's up? What are you doing here? Come and talk to these guys. And now it's like, yeah, so Kevin, we want you to direct. Neve, we want you back. How does it sound? Like,
I think, honestly, I think they had Kevin before. I think they just got Neve. Just got Neve. And Kevin's probably just like, yeah, you can announce me too, or the studio agreed to it or whatever. And it was just like a double whammy. So I think they had Kevin first. And I think that could possibly be part of her persuasion to sign on.
Right.
It's Kevin. I mean, you don't have Wes Craven, but Kevin has been there. and from the beginning. So yeah, he's probably sat down with her and said, "Hey, come on board. We're gonna do your character right," and he's gonna write Sidney Prescott badass, man. We're probably
Bro,
gonna get
he
Mark
has been
Kincaid
writing her
back.
character. Think
Yeah,
about it. Guy and James really didn't get to write for her character.
right. I know.
And
I know.
what they did left me so many damn questions to be answered. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, now it's starting to speculate what's going to be that opening kill. Like, how are we going to kick things off? They could be really mean. I made a video about this the other day. They could be really mean. And we might only get Jasmine Savoy Brown and Chad Meeks back for an opening kill. That would be to just like, we're done with the core four. It's an asshole move. I know.
see,
Or Martha Meeks.
it's not even that it's an asshole move. It's not that it's just an asshole move. It's the wrong move, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you still leave. Not trying to be ignorant. Nobody gives a fuck about the Meeks Martins twins, and that's the truth. That's
Yeah.
the truth. They like them, but they care about the Carpenter sisters. They care about Samantha.
Right.
If you were to kill her off, and this is why we say we don't even know if Melissa is attached in any way, shape, or form. We don't know. For all we know, she could show up and be the fucking opening kill of Samantha Carpenter.
Yeah.
Now you talk about an impact, and you talk about nipping it in the bud.
Yeah.
Is it something I would want to see? No. But as long as Spyglass got the rights, you can bet your ass she's never coming back. So it's just like, if Scream 7, this is why I said, and take this into account, y'all. Now that Kevin and Neve is back, bet your ass, bet your bottom dollar that this movie's going to make money.
It's on. It's on.
Spyglass is not going to sell. If they can, especially if it makes more money than 6, they're going to be like, Melissa, who? We can find new characters. We'll do this. Or, like I've always said, you talk about pulling a dickhead move, they can recast the characters and bring them back in a later film.
Yeah.
They could do whatever
they want. I think they should just leave them alone, kind of write them out like in Scream 6, how Gail said, hey, Neve or Sydney deserves her happy ending. And they can play with those characters later on down the road if they want to, if the rights get into somebody else's hand. I hate to wrap this up, but I have got to go. I'm crunch time right now. Still working.
I greatly appreciate you hanging out, though, man. This was definitely a lot of fun, and I'm still going to be streaming for like the next half hour or whatnot. But yeah, man, if you're not doing anything later, just get a hold of me. And I don't know if you have anything planned to keep talking about this on your channel, but if you do,
I do. Oh, you already know, man. Probably going to do a live stream tonight and Screen Talk Friday night as well, 10 p.m. Central. Love you all. Sorry I didn't get to all of y'all's. I'm excited. You'll be seeing both of us a lot. And also, I see a buddy of mine, PJ Champion, in the chat. What's up, dude? But I have to go, so I know you ain't supposed to say it, but I'll be right back.
All right, bro. Yo, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right. Peace, dude.
All right, so I do want to touch on this one comment real quick from just another horror fan. I do agree with this, saying Kevin Williamson just saved paying another director so they can pay Neve. Kevin was already attached. Yeah, that is true. He has always been attached as a producer, if I'm not mistaken. He's had a producer's credit from Scream 5 and 6. So, yeah, you definitely make a great point there. But that's what's wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. That's love for the franchise, if you ask me. You know what I mean? Like, on top of that, I personally do think that this was also for Wes's legacy. I do. I really, really buy into that. Could I be naive and be wrong? Sure. But I think Kevin mainly did it to save Wes's legacy because he had seen what was going down with this project and he didn't want to see it fall. Alex 19881 saying this news means that Stu Macher will likely be in Scream 7, possibly, as Matthew Lillard has said that he would return to play Stu only if Neve Campbell were to return. Yeah, it's very, very possible. Very, very possible for sure. And we have another super chat in the building. What's up, Eric? Oh, snap. Okay, so let me check let me check Instagram real quick. My bad, buddy. You know how this goes, Eric. We was getting into it, me and Destin, just talking about this news. But I greatly appreciate it, though, man. All right, I'm sending you the link now, brother. My apologies. And that's what's up, though, Eric, that you can come on, because I didn't know if you were busy, if you had work. So that's what's up, man. It's awesome. All right, Eric, you're in. Yeah, again, thank you so much, Eric, for your $2 super chat, buddy. And yeah, oh man, you'll be in here in a few seconds, and this is going to be a fun conversation as well. I'm really interested to see what you have to say about the massive news of Neve Campbell and Kevin Williamson returning to the Scream franchise. And without further ado, the man himself, TBE, the Bearded Entertainment. What is going on, my friend?
I am so fucking excited, bro. Like, you got no idea.
Yes, I do, bro.
Okay, yes, so I work nights. Everyone knows. I passed out around like 11:30 this morning because I get off from work at 11. I woke up at like 2:30, and I had to go to craft store to get some shit for some new Jason masks I'm making. And I saw this and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Bro, there's so much good news in this. Like, so much good news. Because I'd heard rumors that Spyglass had basically given up on their wish list cast, which included Neve Campbell. So I was like, okay, all new cast, cool, whatever. I last night was making a video on who I think would be a good director to pick up for Scream 7. And then I wake up and I was like, fucking don't need to finish that thing.
Bro, I didn't expect none of this news to come out today. I was in the middle of putting the podcast together, and I will plug this real quick. I am going to be doing more episodes of the podcast. I am now switching to a recorded format as opposed to a live stream. I want to kind of save my live streams till later towards the weekend. So now my podcast episodes are going to be 1 hour, and they're going to be recorded. So I was going to put everything together for the Chucky news that we got, the first look. I don't know if you've seen this, that Stiletto movie. I don't know if you've seen that mask or what. I don't think so. It's a 1980s style slasher that is being worked on or whatnot, and the mask looks great. I'll have to send it over to you. But I was going to talk about that, and I was going to talk about some other things as well, Thanksgiving and all that stuff. And then I don't know what it was. I was like, oh yeah, let me look up Bloody Disgusting or whatever I was doing. No, let me plug that. I plugged that wrong. Shannon from Talking Star Wars hit me up on Instagram and was like, hey, I don't know if you saw this. And you guys know, usually I don't get to my Instagram messages right away because I'm usually busy. But just something told me, all right, open this up because of how the message opened. So I looked, and there it was, that big old script, and it said Neve Campbell, and it said Kevin Williamson directed. So I saw that, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Dude, you know what else? I saw someone making a comment about Stu possibly returning. Remember the interviews between 5 and 6 between the writers, James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick? There was one thing that happened on several occasions where they would ask, the interviewer would ask, if you were to bring back one character alive or dead, who would it be? And James Vanderbilt always stopped Guy Busick from saying his answer because Guy Busick fucking loves Stu Macher. Guy Busick is on the Stu train. Guess who's not writing this movie? James Vanderbilt. Guess who is? Fucking Guy Busick. There's no James Vanderbilt to stop Guy Busick from bringing Stu back.
The gloves are off, my friend.
Bro, and I think here's the thing. I've already, as soon as this happened, bro, I was driving when you messaged me, and I was like, fucking shit, what do I do? I pulled up. I'm in a Taco Bell parking lot right now, bro. I pulled over and was like, all right, let me look through this. I want to make sure this is real. I went to her Instagram. I was like, well, shit, it's out there. I went to Reddit. There's already people downplaying Kevin Williamson, like he's only directed one movie so far. This is going to be shit. And I'm like, this man wrote and was on set for 3 movies with one of the greatest horror directors of all time, Wes Craven. If you don't think this man's going to direct a good Scream movie, then you're out of your mind. And keep in mind too, anyone wanting to bitch about the Carpenter sisters and this movie, whatever, Scream, as we know it, would not exist without Kevin Williamson. Even before Wes Craven came into the picture, Kevin Williamson had that idea. Kevin Williamson wrote that script. Like, this entire franchise, as far as anything is considered, is his baby.
Yep.
Like, without his mind and idea, it never exists. We're not even having this conversation. So
that's right.
I think he can do this. He's got Neve Campbell coming back, and I think you're right, man. Whoever said that about Stu, this is the perfect time to bring Stu back. You finish up. I don't think Neve Campbell's back for a trilogy, if I'm being honest. I don't. I think this might be her final movie as Sydney, and I'm okay with that as long as they end it as long as they give her a good ending. And when I think of a good ending, you know what ending I think of? Part 3. Look how she walked off that fucking movie in part 3. Like, left the door open, didn't care, she just had that calmness about her. Yep. And if we do, for some reason, still go about mirroring the original trilogy, and this is a mirror, 7 is a mirror of part 3, that's the one thing they got to get right, in my opinion. Make sure Sydney has that ending where she's okay with the situation, she feels comfortable, and she has a fairy tale ending because she deserves it. Like,
yes,
as much as it's Kevin Williamson's baby. She's been the star. This movie has, even 5 and 6, in some regard, were about her.
Right. And let's really be honest. And, you brought up an interesting point. I brought up the pay cut situation earlier, how she took pay cuts to return for sequels. Let's really be honest with ourselves. You think Scream 5 becomes a success if she's not on the marquee?
Bro, when we're watching the trailer for 5,
if you're just introducing the new characters into just a core group, and there's no Neve Campbell, there's no David Arquette, there's no Courtney Cox, how do you think that movie does? It doesn't do that well, PXP.
Bro, here's the thing. You watch go watch trailer reactions to the original trailer to part 5. Everyone's kind of curious, especially the old timers, but not old timers, but the people like us who are super fans of the franchise. Right. We're curious. We're like, okay, cool. We're gonna get a new Scream movie. When you really got interested was when fucking Sidney Prescott showed up on screen.
Thank you. Yeah,
that's what you had to have, that overlap. If you didn't have that overlap of fucking Sidney Prescott in there, you don't have the success that 5 had.
That's right.
And then that set the core 4 up for success in part 6.
Yep. Very true. Bro,
man.
Like I said, I don't understand why she gets the shit she does. This woman has literally, when you think about it, sacrificed food off of her family's table to keep coming back and do these movies. And when she finally stood up for herself and said, no, fuck you, I want to get paid. I deserve to get paid. I mean a lot to this franchise in so many ways. I am this franchise. I deserve to get paid what I feel like I deserve. And now, does Jenna and Melissa, especially Jenna, help with Spyglass being able to give Neve what she wants? Yes. But at the end of the day, I feel like this was bound to happen anyway with her return. You just had to pay her, and with how much Scream 6 did make, either way, in my opinion, you had the money to pay her. Now, if the question you would have had to ask is if the core 4 was still going to be involved, would you have had the money to really pay Jenna? That would be the question going into 7. But now we don't have those questions anymore and stuff. This is strictly about Neve Campbell, Kevin Williamson. To me, this movie is about the Scream legacy.
Yeah, dude. Going back to the Neve thing, here's the thing. If anyone gives Neve Campbell shit for not coming back for 6, they better, on equal footing, give Jenna Ortega shit, because that's the entire reason she's not in 7.
Right.
She's not in 7 because they could not pay her what she wanted.
Well,
That's the whole reason.
It's like I said earlier, you know, a lot of people are mad because Neve came back because of what happened to Melissa. And they feel like she's hypocritical. And it's like, did Melissa leave Scream 6 because Neve didn't come back? No, none of them.
No.
You can't have both. You can't be mad at one and then be okay with the other when it's the same thing. You know what I mean? So listen, this is her time. Let her have it. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm a Scream fan. You know, I'm going to do my best to support this franchise regardless to what. You know, when the Scream TV series came out, I was like, damn, we're not getting no Sidney Prescott. We're not getting none of that. But this opens a new avenue to create a whole new world for Scream. Let's tell a difference.
Bro, and I would love for them to bring seasons 1 and 1, 2, and 4?
3. No, 1, 2, and this would be 4 would be the going back to Lakewood because 3 was something completely different.
Bro, I would be so on board if they were to bring those characters like in because
right.
Dude, 1 and 2 were great. 3, obviously, you had a problem, but I wouldn't care. I don't think they're going to. And to address the comment on the screen here, I don't think they're gonna. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna retcon anything. I think Scream is a fluid timeline right now. I don't think they're going to be separating off and that didn't happen, even though we very clearly saw it happen. Like they might retcon some things that we never saw happen, but I don't think they're going to retcon a huge death like that. I hope they address it though. Like I hope we get some grieving for Dewey because we didn't get shit in 6. And in fact, we got the opposite. We got the end of 5 and Gail saying that she's going to write this book about this, the sheriff. And then she just turns around and doesn't. And she goes back to the same. That's one of my biggest complaints about part 6 is they completely destroyed Gail's story arc or her character arc. Like she just went right back to part 1 or part 2, didn't change at all. And I was like, that's just, it's just shit.
Right. It's crazy. Like, oh man, like wow. And
I don't want them to pull Melissa in.
To comment real quick on this one chat. Hold on, I just seen it. I just had it and it jumped on me.
Well, in regards to that one, I don't want Melissa to be in the movie. If I'm being honest, I want a movie focused on Sidney Prescott.
I agree with you. I think it's it's time, especially if you're a Scream fan, and at some point in the future, they're going to do Scream movies without Neve Campbell. They're going to do Scream movies without Sidney Prescott. Why not close it out with a bang? Why not send the character out on her high horse, the proper ending, the way it was originally intended. And that was by bringing that boy, Stu Macher, back from the dead. And one final showdown. That's one thing in so many ways. And I think that you talk about Wes creating the ultimate love letter to Halloween and stuff is to bring that type of dead character back, that foe back from the dead to encounter Sidney Prescott one last time. Because that's what happened with Laurie Strode. She had to do it multiple times with Michael Myers. You can have
Laurie,
Sidney Prescott and Stu Macher.
Yeah, Laurie, I just don't want a requel like that where they ignore all the other sequels. That's something don't do that. Like every other movie has happened, everything that happened in the other movies has happened. Don't go back and this is a direct sequel to part 2, like Halloween H2O. Right. Don't do it. This is this is part 7. Like let's keep it that way. It is part 7, so you got 6 other movies worth of canon that you have to respect. As much as I'm not the biggest fan of 5 or 6, I don't want to act like they didn't happen because they did. And I mean, they weren't terrible movies. I'm not, as I said, not the biggest fan of them, but they weren't terrible movies, and I think they deserve respect and to stay into the canon. So don't retcon Dewey's death because of that or anything like that. Just make Kevin Williamson, as I said, bro, created the fucking franchise. He wrote Sick. He wrote fucking oh god, it's completely oh damn, the movie's completely with Josh Hartnett, Famke Jensen, Jordana Brewster, The Faculty. Bro, he's written so many fucking bangers. He can write a good story.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, so like, and I know he's not credited as a writer in terms of screenplay on this. He gets a writing credit on every movie because it's characters created by Kevin Williamson. Right. But he's good. I mean, I feel like he's the type of director who's going to look at this stuff and be like, oh, well, as a writer, that doesn't make sense. I'm going to change this up. Right. While I, and that's my biggest hope, because from what we know, and this is directly from Radio Silence's lips, they didn't do anything like that. They weren't involved in the script at all. James and Guy went off and wrote the script. They shot it as they got it. I don't think Kevin Williamson will be that way. Kevin Williamson is a writer first. Right. And I think he's going to get that script and he's going to go through it and be like, hey, what about this? What if we did this?
I feel like he's going to be in that writing room, making sure that shit gets written correctly and things tie in and make sense correctly. There will be no, things like, oh, my name's Detective Wayne Bailey, but my real name's Detective Wayne Kirsch. None of that, none of that type of stuff. I think Kevin's going to be heavily involved in the writing process. And Guy, now without James, we're going to be able to see him flourish, I feel like, without him being attached. and I'm
okay with that, man.
I don't like to try to shade anybody or nothing like that, but I feel like you can tell in Scream 5 and Scream 6 who wrote what. And I feel like when you can break it down between those writers, James is the better writer. No, not James. Fucking Guy is the better writer. He is. So I'm thrilled to see that Guy is, being able to be the sole writer. Kevin's the director. This is mind-boggling, fantastic, huge news for Scream 7. None of us saw this shit coming, man.
No.
Like I said to Destin earlier, I know he penned Patrick Lussier because of his ties to the franchise. From being in the original as an editor, stuff like that. He wanted to see Patrick Lussier. But now you kind of get an upgrade from that with Kevin Williamson.
Like, I wasn't kidding, dude. I was making a video last night because I recently rewatched the Fear Street movies, right?
Okay.
Those were all directed by the same woman. And if you watch part 1, man, the opening to Fear Street 1992, I believe it is, bro, that is like right out of a Scream movie. Okay. And I like the more I
never watched those. I'm gonna have to catch up.
Bro, go back and watch all of them because they're all good. It's one overarching story that's just amazing. When you watch part 1 with a close eye and tell me you don't get a good Scream vibe from this movie, and like I rewatched it, and as I was watching, I was like, damn, this has that vibe. This has that feel to it. And then I went and looked, and I was like, this chick, her name's Lee. I can't remember her last name. I wish I could, but her name's Lee. And they shot, I don't know how much you know about the Fear Street movies, but they shot them all at one time. It was a 108-day shoot, which, if you know anything about movies, that's a really long shoot.
Hell yeah, that's a long shoot.
They shot them all at the same time. Part 1 and part 3 have a lot of the same cast in them, as different characters and stuff. She wasn't supposed to direct part 2. She was supposed to direct 1 and 3, and someone else was supposed to direct part 2. But due to some scheduling conflicts, we're like, yeah, the director we had on mind for this, he can't do it. So she's like, fuck it, I'll do it. So she was there for 108 days filming all 3 of these movies. Oh, and guess who did the music for all the scores for all 3 of the Fear Street movies? Fucking Marco Beltrami. He did, dude. He did the score for every one of those.
Now that we got him, we got Kevin and Neve back. They got to get Marcos back because that to me was the biggest glaring weakness in Scream 5 and 6 was the score. It did not sound like a Scream movie. It didn't. It sounded like one of those suspense thriller action type movies. And I'm just like, man, I miss hearing the like, I miss hearing that shit. And I'm just like, yo, come on. You got to bring him back. So hopefully with these two coming back, we get some more, man. I mean, there's so many ways they could go about this. Again, they could continue on the timeline and not mess anything up. I think they could find a way to do it. There's also, like I said, the 30 years later, Kevin Williamson did Halloween 20 years later. We could pick up after Scream 4. We don't know what the fuck they're going to do, but there's things they can do. I just hope that they put all this shit together, and it's going to be a great Scream film to end it right for the Sidney Prescott character and to give a great homage to Wes's legacy, man. Now, real quick, I do want to say, get caught up with some of these comments. The MJ Innocent Project says, my friend wasn't going to see Scream 7 without Sidney. I can't wait to tell her. Well, now she's up. It's all over the fucking place. It's like, what did Gail say to do? It's all over the news, Dewey. You know, it's all over now. So it's going.
Dude, I made a short as soon as you told me. I pulled over, verified it was real, and I made a short. And I just put a short out there like, we got the OG back. We got fucking Sidney Prescott and Kevin Williamson directing, man. Like, oh God, this is honestly with what, if you would have asked me like 2 days ago, what would be your perfect scenario for Scream 7 in terms of like writer, director, story, it would have been different, right? I wouldn't have said this because I didn't think this was possible. Like, if you would have asked me 2 days ago, I didn't think Kevin Williamson coming in to direct was possible. I didn't think a guy written script, no James, was possible. I thought they had given up on Neve Campbell. Bro, this is legitimately, in my opinion, the best possible circumstances for Scream 7.
Yep. Bro, I said it earlier. I feel like Kevin just saved this project. Yes, did Neve save it? Yes. But you talk about the impact of Kevin Williamson because of his involvement with the Scream franchise. Like you said, this is his baby. I don't think any other director that would have been named would have had this impact. I really, really don't.
I think because it's impact in terms of story and directing style, I got to disagree. I think there are others who could have had an impact in that regard. One of the biggest impacts that Kevin has brought already without even directing a single page is his name. Like, that's the news attached to the fact that Kevin Williamson is coming back to Scream after, I mean, he wrote part 4. Since then, producer alone. That's it. Yep. So, and when did part 4 come out? 2011?
Yep.
Okay. Kevin Williamson is attached creatively to a Scream movie for the first time in 13 years. Bro, come on now. That's news. And now he's not just a writer, he's a director. He has, no pun intended, a direct link to how the movie comes out. As a writer, sure, you write the script, you turn it in. You got power over the story in that regard. But if you're if the director wants to change something during the filming process, they can do that. So now Kevin Williamson has a say on creatively the final product, because he can say, hey, you wrote this, I'm going to change that line to this because I think it sounds better, or you put this fact in there but that conflicts with something you said on page 70. So Kevin Williamson has the power to give us the best Scream, and everyone says this shit about 6, and I don't believe it for a second. Never thought it. Everyone said 6 was the best since the original. Kevin Williamson has the power to legitimately give us the best Scream movie since the original.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I mean, 6 was okay. It was good, but
people say it, bro.
This just my opinion. I think 4 is the closest to the original. That's just me. You know,
I think 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
for me it's 1, 2, then 4. For me, it's 1, 2, 4, 3, 6, 5.
That college setting was awesome.
Well, college setting was awesome, but I think it, like, from 1 to 2, the flow into those between those movies is just, it's as perfect as you could be of a transition into a sequel.
I can agree with that.
Like Sydney dealing with her, because she's already dealing with trauma in part 1 with the death, the 1-year anniversary of the death of her mother. Part 2,
whole new other trauma of having her boyfriend be the one who killed her mother and trying to kill her, frame her father, all this shit.
Yeah, and then she's got like the the love not love triangle drama, but like the love interest drama, because is Derek really trying to protect her, or is he just history repeating itself? There's for me, like I said, 2 is the perfect sequel to part 1. Then I think 4, like if it went, the thing about 3 though that for me really seals it as a perfect end to the trilogy is literally the ending of part 3, man. And I already brought it up once. The way Sydney has like an inner peace at the end of part 3 is just beautiful. It literally feels like it's the perfect ending to the trilogy. If they had made 1, 2, and 3 and never made another movie, I would rank that as one of the best horror trilogies of all time. Because of the character arcs of all the characters. You got Gale and Dewey fighting and bickering the entire time. And then
getting married.
Exactly.
And then you got Sydney not only being at peace, but finding a new guy in Mark Kincaid, and stuff. So being able to finally move on, and stuff like that, and trust somebody on that type of level from a relationship standpoint. So when it comes to the ending and the send-off of Scream 3, that was a really good send-off for the Sidney Prescott character. Now we got to see what this new one's going to be. If this is going to be the final send-off, we don't know. We'll see.
Who knows, man?
I mean, Neve said that she does feel there's more story to tell with the character. Whether that's just one film's worth of story or more remains to be seen. But one way or another, we got her back for Scream 7. And it's, man, like I said to Destin, it was a real dark time over these last few months for this fucking franchise. Today, the sun is shining, baby. Let's go.
Bro, we're in the good times now. Like, summer's coming, and here's my hope. Here's my hope as well. And this is a selfish hope. Completely selfish. I'm going to be honest. One thing I know about Kevin Williamson is he likes to shoot in North Carolina because he shot part 5 was shot in North Carolina. Fucking Dawson's Creek was shot in North Carolina, which he wrote. I know what you did last summer. Bro, I'm just fucking hoping that they bring Scream 7 to North Carolina, because that's like 3 hours from me. And I'm gonna be there fucking every day trying to get in the background of that fucking scene. Or whatever they're shooting, bro. Oh my God.
I think it was Talking Star Wars who asked me earlier if they thought that I was the March filming date that Neve is filming, was that Scream 7 was what she was filming. And I said, I don't think so. I think being that we got this news, we see the script, they're not filming yet. I'd probably say they might start filming depending on, we know they want the movie released by 2025. So I'm going to say maybe anywhere between July and October they start. Something like that.
If they follow, so Scream 6 shot is like July 17th to like the first week of August, or June 17th. You got about a 2-month window to shoot. If you're taking your time and doing it. Yeah, I don't think they've shot anything yet, man, because without having a cast out there, you can't write them, or without having, knowing who's returning. Like Sydney, for example. You can write a script for Sydney all you want, but if she doesn't come back, that script's no good. So you got to write a new one. With all the limbo they've been having with returning characters, I don't think there's any way a fully fleshed out script was written until maybe now. I think this news is coming to us not in real time. I'm pretty sure this has been a 2, maybe 3 weeks ago that this happened.
Right.
But there's nowhere near enough time for the script to be fully fleshed out and them to cast everyone that's going to be in this movie.
Right.
So I don't think they filmed anything yet.
And the casting alone would be huge news, just like this is. Like,
yeah,
look at Scream 5 and 6's casting. Like, there was news all over that, so there would be news all over this as well.
I don't think it's.
Imagine if Stu is behind the curtains as Ghostface with a Dewey voice modulator at Gale's show. I mean, I kind of wanted them to do something like that for Scream 6, but they didn't. I mean, I'm not against it. I think that would be you talk about a fucking sentimental but fucked up moment at the same time. Like,
I brought this up way early on between 5 and 6 when we knew 6 was coming. I think Ghostface should call in to Gale's live show because she has a morning show. She got a live segment. Right. I think Ghostface should call in. And if Ghostface calls in with the fucking voice, with the voice changer from part 3 and starts, bro, it's the perfect time to do some shit like that because you could call in as Dewey's voice and just, Gale, I thought you were going to write a book about me. I thought you were going to write about the sheriff from part 5.
Right.
And just fucking chastise her. Bro, you talk about an emotional moment in fucking on live television, an emotional moment for Courtney Cox to pull off. That would do it right there, dude. That would destroy Gale Weathers.
Right. It would. 100%.
And yeah, dude, I would love to see some shit like that. Dude, there's just so much they can do, and there was so much they could do without this news. Honestly, as much as I'm super hyped about this. I wasn't upset by the prospect of an entirely new cast. I wasn't. But dude, like I said, for me, best possible set of circumstances for Scream 7 right is what we got. Fucking Kevin Williamson directing, Guy Busick writing, Neve Campbell starring. Dude, and another reason I don't think they've shot anything yet. You see how clean and crisp that script was? Bro,
yeah.
She hadn't gone through that, bro. Dude, when
that shit looked like it just came out the printing machine.
Dude, by the time I start a show or I start filming something, you got fucking creases and everything. You got tabs in there. You got highlighter marks all over, bro. That script was fresh. There's no way there's no way she started filming yet.
Bro, I can't believe this shit. I did not expect this news to get dropped like this today, but you know what? Like I said, the sun is shining, and it is a great day to be a Scream fan, especially after the dark days we had all those months ago. Just
for
another
real.
horror fan saying, no, but Melissa didn't come out saying females need to stand by each other and fight. How Hollywood treats females. Neve did after months after all the pay thing happened. She said how they treat. Okay, see, but the difference is between Neve's situation and Melissa, and I'm not saying I disagree with what Melissa said or what she did. She has the right to her freedom of speech, but at the same time, she is still an employee under contract for a company. And if a company unfortunately sees that whatever you said or might be doing might be detrimental to the publicity of of their company, they have every right to do what they did. It would be the same thing as if that was your business. If you felt somebody was gaining too much negativity in a public perception, you wouldn't want that affecting your business or anything like that. Again, freedom of speech is freedom of speech, but this is unfortunately this is what we're in it right now. If you say something, unfortunately, sometimes you will lose jobs or whatever and stuff like that. But it's two different situations, in my opinion. You really can't compare the two. It wasn't like Neve, I mean, yes, did she drag them through the mud? Yeah, and rightfully so. That's just like if you did $1 million job for somebody and they try to offer you 100,000, you're like, what the fuck? No, that was $1 million job. I want the million. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. This situation with Melissa is completely different, And again, I'm not for silencing somebody, but you have to take into account Spyglass did meet with Melissa and said, listen, we understand your position. We understand how you feel, whatever. But for the sake of our company, we can't have this negative backdrop on you, because I'm pretty sure just as much as there were people supporting Melissa, there were people who weren't and were probably messaging Spyglass, saying some shit, so on and so forth. I'll even compare it to this. I'm a big wrestling fan. I remember back in the 90s when Vince McMahon was going in that creative shift to creating more edgy TV, more adult type content compared to what he was doing in the 80s. And they had a segment where they were backstage fielding phone calls. And there were some fans who were like, if you keep doing this edgy type of stuff, we will tune in every week. We will not watch your competitor WCW no more. You keep doing what you're doing, we will keep watching. And then you had those old school fans who kept calling in as well, like, you need to clean up your act. This is a family event. I have kids that watch this. We could do away with the cussing, so on and so forth. So it goes both ways. You know what I mean? Like, but in my opinion, their situations are completely different. And again, it's not like, according to rumors, Neve didn't stand behind Melissa. According to rumors, she was trying to get Melissa back in Scream 7. The ball is in
Melissa had a Melissa. Neve set up a meeting after everything that happened between Melissa and Spyglass, and everything that's been reported, she went to it and had the meeting and didn't, nothing changed. Here's what I'll say about anyone who the Melissa situation. Everyone is talking about her freedom of speech and all that, and I 100% agree. Like you said, freedom of speech is freedom of speech. Here's the question I would throw out there just to see. What if she had came out supporting the opposite side of the argument? What if she had made those exact same tweets supporting the opposite side of the argument? Would you have been in favor of her getting fired?
That's a good question.
Or does freedom of speech go out the window at that point?
Right.
That's the thing. Everyone's like, oh, well, she was just supporting this, supporting that. That's completely fine. You have the right to do that. But as an employee, like you said, your employer has the right to remove you from a situation if they think what you're doing is going to hurt their business. It's employer rights. And going back to it, would it still be freedom of speech? Would you still be like vouching for Melissa if she had came out supporting the opposite side of the argument? If you'd have been in favor of her getting fired, then you don't give a shit about freedom of speech. You just care that she was saying something supporting your opinion. So yeah, they're totally different. And Melissa did come out and say she stood with Neve and everything. Actions speak louder than words. You want to talk about supporting it? Don't do the movie. Say, hey, I don't. As a company, if she really supported it right then and there, what she saw as an employee is this company, from what she said, does not value women and want to pay them as much as they deserve to be paid. Yet she stayed. So was she really that upset with the company? Or was she there to get her bag? Bro, like I got no problem with Melissa Barrera. I got no problem with Jenna Ortega.
Right.
The thing about it is, and I think there's even a difference between Jenna and Sydney, or Neve. This franchise from 1 through 5 was built on Neve. Like Sydney Prescott, without the situation that happens to Sydney Prescott, this franchise doesn't exist.
That's
so true. When Neve Campbell comes in and says, hey, I've been the star of these things for 4 movies, and I've been, a contributing part for even the 5th movie. I think I deserve this much money. That's one thing. When Jenna Ortega comes in and says, hey, I'm really popular and I can make a lot more money going somewhere else, So
Right.
if you don't pay me this much, I'm not coming back. Whole different situation, in my opinion. She's
Very
not
true.
talking about what she's contributed to the franchise. She's talking about the fact that she can make more money somewhere else. And
Yes.
it is a business at the end of the day. I got no problem with that. But you can't compare the two. They're not the same situation. Money is the overall factor, but the underlying circumstances are not the same. If
Very
Nev
true.
had came out and said, "Hey, I can make, a couple million doing this, so if you don't pay me that, I'm not coming back," I would say the exact same thing about her. But that's not what she said. So,
I
yeah, man,
agree.
I think this is the best set of circumstances you could have, bro.
I agree. Hey, what's up, Gina? I'm glad to see you here. And pull up this comment real quick. My Chunky Jordy saying, finally some decent news after all the Melissa shit. 6 annoys me because of Mindy, so it's my least favorite. There you go, Eric. Melissa was great, though, in my eyes. Yes, she was. But it's just like what we said about Nev and Stream 6. We're going to have to move on for this movie. We don't know what the future holds, but for this movie, we're going to have to just move on unless there's something we don't know, and maybe, just maybe Melissa is a part of this movie in some shape, way, or form. Whether it's the role they had for her originally, or if she's going to be the opening kill. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I highly doubt it.
This is the perfect time to have Mindy as an opening kill. And here's why. Here's why. Everyone, and I don't like getting into politics about movies and stuff like that, but this is kind of a political stance or political conversation when it comes to Mindy, because Mindy does represent some diversity in the cast. She does. She's an openly queer character, and there's a thing with horror movies. It used to be what they refer to as the token black guy. Or the token black character. They were the opening kill, right?
Right.
Or the first person who died. Now, it's gotten to a point where it's no longer that. Now they call it the bury your gays rule, which is if you have a gay character, you got to kill him off. But it's gotten so deep and so twisted that now people are saying, well, you can't kill her because she's an openly queer character. Man, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's a slasher. Everyone should be able to die.
Everybody's on the chopping block. I don't give a fuck what your sexual orientation is.
And here's the thing. The thing. Right now is the perfect opportunity to do it, because if they come out and say, well, they just killed, they killed Mindy because she was queer. Bro, the director's an openly gay man. What are you talking about? Right. What are you talking about? It's got representation in that regard.
Right.
You're gonna accuse this guy of that? So, bro, it's the perfect time to kill her. And I agree. I think Mindy is fucking just unbearable. Not Jasmine Savoy Brown. She's amazing. She's a great actress. Yes. I think it's a testament. It's a testament to her acting that I want Mindy to die so much, because she puts that much into the character. But yeah, man, if you want Mindy to go, I think it's the perfect opportunity to do that. And here's the thing. You want to talk about a great setup for part 8 and bringing Sam and Tara back? Have Chad and Mindy as the opening kills in part 6 or part 7. Because what's going to happen in part 8? Fucking Sam and Tara are going to want to know what happened. That'll bring Sam and Tara back.
Yeah, I just feel like, and maybe I'm worried about it too much more than I should be. I just worry about if that does happen, all the fans who do want to see the Core 4 return, well, it's like, oh, well, you killed, the Meeks Martin twins off, but where are Sam and Tara? Why didn't they come sooner? And so
they fucking killed off Dewey without ever getting a Sydney and Dewey reunion.
That is true. Fuck. When you put it that way, yeah, fuck all that. Yeah, sorry. Meeks Martin got to go.
Yeah, y'all got a bitch about this. We had a history since fucking 1996 up until 2020, and we didn't even get a reunion between them in that. So you
Right.
can your 3 year relationship in the movie between the members of the core four can piss off. I don't care.
Yeah, like no, that when you put it that way, that's a really good point because we didn't get a reunion for Dewey and Sydney, which was some bullshit for real. How I mean,
100%.
how you gonna kill him off without at least having one last moment with her? Like,
And some people claim, well, oh, they had the phone call. Okay, give Chad and Mindy a phone call with Sam and Tara. Don't show Sam and Tara. There you
right.
go.
And
They
if
had
you really want to
that moment.
if you really want to get saucy with it, have it be a phone call when they're getting fucking butchered.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man. Just another horror fan says, do you think the general audience knows who Kevin is? Yep, and I'll explain why. No, just us horror fans, a very small audience. The general audiences knows Neve, so they have attracted both audience with this. See, you got to take into account all the projects that fucking guy did in the 90s. Dawson's Creek. How many other projects was he a part of in the 90s that wasn't horror? He was involved with a good bit.
Oh yeah, and you got to think he had like a fucking award-winning television show with The Following.
Yep. Yes, that as well. Yep.
Yeah,
So
dude, he's got
audience knows who he is.
Dude, he's got a big filmography. And here's the thing too, not even gonna lie. We're still cashing in on Jenna Ortega. We are, because people know Scream, some of the new characters, or not new characters, some of the new audience members know Scream because of Jenna Ortega. They do. Hopefully, what has happened is they discovered it with Jenna Ortega because she's massively popular. Then they went back and they caught up, and now they're invested in the franchise.
Right.
So, but if they're not cool, they don't come back because Jenna's not in it, whatever. That's your fault. I firmly believe you're still going to watch the movie, but I think we're still going to get good turnout because Jenna Ortega opened up the franchise for a lot of people. Especially part 6, man. After Wednesday was such a hit, people went to see part 6 because they knew Jenna Ortega was going to be in it. My only hope is that they took that as an opportunity to expand their movie knowledge and went back and watched 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and now are into the franchise enough that they're going to go see part 7 just to see where it goes.
Right.
So
I agree. It's just crazy news, and I want to say this real quick to everybody in the chat who turned out. I knew as soon as I clicked the live button, we was going to get a good turnout because this is obviously massive news. But I want to thank everybody who's hanging out with us, watching and stuff. If you haven't done so already, definitely shoot the stream a like. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. Share it on all your social media platforms, all of that good stuff. And when the stream does end, be sure to leave a comment as well because that also helps out with the algorithm. But man, this is just such great news. I'm trying to pull up this one comment from Talking Star Wars, but for some reason StreamYard is being on its glitch mode with me right now. So I'm just going to read it out here. Talking Star Wars says, I just thought of this with a friend. What if Kincaid is a cop? Put the wrong person away and the right killer, etc. is Ghostface, kills Mark, and Stu kills Gale. So I'm assuming what you're saying, Shannon, is that what if Mark, obviously he's a cop, and he puts the wrong person away thinking it could have been Ghostface, but the Ghostface who he thought, the person he thought who he put away was Ghostface isn't, and then the real Ghostface, whoever is behind the mask, shows up and kills him, and then Stu would kill Gale. I feel like that it might be a little convoluted. I don't think we need to go all in on that, another killer like Mark having to put somebody away thinking it was Ghostface. I mean, you're going to have your red herring set up already. So I think that just would be adding an unnecessary red herring. So I don't know how I feel about that. Now, in terms of Stu killing Gale, Well, they leaned into it in Scream 6 and they backed out. So I'm not against it. I think that it could happen. It should have happened in Scream 6 and they just didn't fucking pull the trigger like they should have. So I think Stu killing Gale is very, very possible. But that's just me.
You know what I think, man? I think taking the first part of that, the Kincaid putting the wrong guy away. You know what I think? I think that's the rest of it. You know, it's not he's putting someone away who he thinks is Ghostface. Get rid of that, right? But as a motive for Ghostface, because here's the thing: if you do that, you know, he puts someone away thinking they're Ghostface, then the real Ghostface comes and kills him or whatever. You're still going to have another motive for Ghostface. You're still going to have to come up with a motive for that. But having Kincaid put someone away wrongly, and then that person getting out and becoming Ghostface, that's a damn good motive. Like you took 10, 15 years of my life away. Now I'm going to take your life away.
Right.
And so I would totally be on board if the Ghostface we got was someone that Kincaid had put away, and it was the wrong person. In terms of Stu killing Gale, I don't think Gale is gonna die, man. I don't. I think the story is gonna end with Sidney and Gale walking off into the sunset.
I could too, because when you really think about it, Scream 96 in the events, of Sidney's life with Maureen and all that, it started with her and Gale in so many ways.
Yeah, and
everything, like all of that, the media coverage around Maureen's death, Gale putting, shining a light on it. Scream in so many ways, especially the first two, in my opinion, are really about Gale and Sidney. Like, and this, how can I say? I want to say this rivalry, but it's like a rivalry, but a partnership in the same sense. It's a weird conundrum, but it works.
Oh yeah, for sure. Here's the thing: you could say that part 3, 4, 5, and 6, all because of Gale. Because here's the thing: 1 happens because of Billy and Maureen, right?
Right.
2 happens because of Billy and Sidney. 3 happens. Obviously because of Maureen and Sidney, but 3 happens because of the Stab movies.
Right.
4 happens because of the Stab movies. 5 happens because of the Stab movies. 6 happens because of the Stab movies. Where did the Stab movies come from? They're based on Gale Weathers' books.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah. If you look at part 1, based on the Woodsboro murders by Gale.
That's true. Yep, based on the Woodsboro murders by Gale Weathers. Yep.
So,
and the cool thing is, you can actually get props of all of those books.
What'd you say?
You can get props of all of those books.
Oh yeah. There's people who make them. There was a copyright issue with. I know a group of people who sell them. But there was a copyright issue and some sort of cease and desist. But you can, man, it's pretty easy to make. You just print out download a high resolution copy of the cover and everything. I don't know if there's actual books of like written books. I think they're just like a blank book with the cover.
Yeah,
but
that's it. Even when I looked on like the Scream official website and thing behind those books, they even said are just props.
Yeah, but it is cool. But yeah, man, so like Gale is a significant part of this, because without Gale Weathers, there's no Stab franchise. Without the Stab franchise, arguably you don't get 3. You definitely don't get 4, 5, and 6, because without Gale Weathers writing the books, Sidney doesn't become a star. So you don't, like, Jill and Charlie don't want to be, they don't want to be Sidney because she's the star, because she wouldn't be the star. And then obviously 5, Richie and Amber are pissed about the quality of the Stab movies. So you don't have the Stab movies. And then if they don't go off the rails because of the Stab movies, well, then part 6 doesn't happen. because Bailey and Quinn and Ethan don't have to go on a revenge mission. So without Gale Weathers' book and the Stab franchise, you don't get 3, 4, 5, and 6.
That's true, man. You make an excellent point, but I ain't gonna lie. I'll put it this way, Eric. If there was anybody of the OG3 who should have died, it should have been Gale, not Dewey.
Oh, 1,000%, man.
It should have been Gale, bro.
It should have been Gale.
I love Gale. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Gale. But damn it, when you think about it, I mean, in so many ways, one thing Tara said was right. In so many ways, Ghostface gets to stick around because of Gale.
1,000%.
And it's like, damn it. It's like, do you want to see this keep happening just so you can be that reporter that you want to be, that murder mystery? It's interesting. That's what makes the character very dynamic, in my opinion. But at the same time, it makes you want to see her die.
In 6, man, they should have killed her in 6. I said it a long time ago on a live stream. I wish fucking Ghostface would have thrown her skinny ass off that balcony.
Bro, I thought, I'm not gonna lie, when we first got the trailer and stuff for that chase scene, I started a hashtag even for it. Down goes Weathers. I thought it was finally happening. I was like, damn, they're gonna finally fucking do it. I'm thinking, just because I'm like, all right, they showed Dewey's death in so many ways in Scream 5. Now it seems like they're taking the same approach with Gale, but they fucking pulled the whole kibosh and didn't do it and stuff. So, oh man, but again, in so many ways, you make a great point. To encapsulate the story between her and Sydney, you kind of do need to keep her alive.
Oh, dude, you know what would be cool?
What?
What if Gale, and I just thought of this, what if Gale did write the book about Dewey, and now they're turning that into a movie?
Ooh.
Like part 3 took place on a film set. What if in part 7, Gale did write a movie about Dewey, or write a book about Dewey, and they're turning that into a movie?
Bro.
And then the events start kicking off on the set.
Bro, that's a hell of an idea, Eric. That would work. Oh man, that would work real well, in my opinion. Because then you can have everything, in so many ways. Like, you have Gale telling this story about Dewey, but without Ghostface in these murders, you can't tell Dewey's story. So
exactly.
Oh man.
And bro, you're gonna get some heavy hitting emotional moments, because Gale and Sydney are going to be reliving these portions of their past with Dewey, who's no longer there. And it's a perfect way to bring in a little bit of Dewey's essence into this movie.
Bro. Eric, yo, that's a fucking hell of an idea, man. Like, I kind of want to see this somewhat play out like that. Like, I think that would be cool, because then in so many ways, then you can play off the fact that, okay, Gale didn't do the book or whatever in Scream 6, but now here she is in Scream 7 trying to right that wrong. So some fans who might have wanted to see her die and think she's a piece of shit, they might actually get this. This might be the most human side of Gale you'll get to see in the entire franchise.
Yep.
So I like that idea, man. I mean, shit. I mean, who knows if it's going to play out that way? Now, I will ask you this. How much of Scream 3 do you expect Scream 7 to mirror it now that Kevin and Neve are back? Like, do you think it's going to be mirrored in Scream 3 the way Scream 5 was mirrored in the original and Scream 6 was mirrored in 2? Or do you think they're going to decrease that a little bit?
I hope they decrease it, because here's the thing, like, I want it to mirror it some, like I do. I enjoy that. I think having the setting would be enough. And by the setting, of course, I mean, like, the fact that go back to Hollywood and have it be on a movie set or during the production of a movie. That's enough for me because part 5, we went back to Woodsboro. You got the same setting. The motive was different, but the killer was the exact same as part 1. It was the protagonist's boyfriend. So that's too much. Part 6, you had the overall plot was the exact same. The survivors of the most recent movie go to college. The motive was the same. The ghost faces from this movie are attacking because they are related or getting revenge for the ghost face in the last movie. The killers are the exact same. It's the parents of the relatives of the ghost face from the previous movie. So part 6 was the worst offender in my opinion. It mirrored it way too much. 5 was better, but in my opinion, for 7, bro, have it in Hollywood during the production of a movie. Do that. Keep that. You know what? Go back to, I think it was Talking Star Wars idea. Have it be a fucking have it be someone from Kincaid's past that he put away with, thinking it was the right person, but it wasn't.
Right.
And have them be a ghost face. You got a new motive, you got a new ghost face, and then, bro, have it during the production of a movie about fucking Dewey Riley. And dude, you got everything there. You can make this a fucking great movie.
Bro, I really like that idea. And you know what the crazy thing is too, though? With this whole movie aspect, if they continue to keep it in the vein of what the Gale Weathers characters is, they could just easily also not do the Dewey movie and either do a TV show or a whole new movie based on these last 2 fucking murders, just to stay true to who Gale Weathers is. She finally got the rights to the Stab franchise, and now they're fucking rebooting it all back up.
I don't want them to. I don't want them to do that.
I don't personally want them to do that, but I'm looking at that flip side of that as well, because kind of what they did in Scream 6. You said you was going to write a book about Dewey, but instead you wrote a book about the fucking murders. So I personally would love to see a difference. I would love to see your idea play out, but I'm also kind of keeping it in my mind. They like to keep Gale how she is. It would not surprise me if that whole movie aspect is just another like Stab reboot and it's not the Dewey story, which would fucking suck, because that Dewey concept, I think, really, really works well for all the parties involved.
Yeah, I think it does, man. And like I said, dude, it'd be the perfect way to bring David Arquette's essence back into the movie. And you could even have something in there, like I'm imagining like Gale or someone or Sydney is about to get stabbed, and like the book has Dewey on the front cover, right? And like they have it and they move it to the perfect right place, so Ghostface ends up stabbing the book and it doesn't hit him, and like, kind of symbolic, like, hey, Dewey's dead, but he's still fucking protecting everyone.
What would you think the title of that book would be, or the title of the movie would be? Like, let's say if it was a book or whatever. Like, I go back to Scream 1996. I think it was him, or it might have been Sydney who said it. The town that dreaded sundown.
Well, that's already a movie.
I know.
Yeah, no, I would, if she's writing a book about Dewey, like Woodsboro's protector or the sheriff of Woodsboro, like something like that. Something that just basically said, people look down on this guy, because he at the end, that's the thing about his character arc, dude. At the end, he was broken down. He was an alcoholic. He had, his relationship had fallen through. But what the hell happened? He's still, like every other movie, he's in the story because he's in the story because he chooses to be there to make sure people stay safe. Like part 2. Bro, do you remember part 2? He doesn't have any jurisdiction there. He took time off from the police force to go to Windsor, Ohio and protect Sydney.
Right.
Like the entire like physical damage he took in part 2, he wanted to be there. Same thing with part 3. Like he could have left. Like what was his job? His job was a technical consultant. That's it. What did he do? He investigated. He tried to make sure people were safe. Part
Right.
4, he was the sheriff, tried to make people safe. Part 5, he didn't have to be there. What
Right.
did Sydney say? What did Sydney say to him on the phone call? I know if you're there, they're going to be safe. And look what happened. They made it out because he was there to make sure they were safe. Bro, that's what Dewey's role was. He was the protector of those characters. And he was never there. Like Gail always chooses to be there to get a story. She puts herself there for fame and to get a story. Sydney's usually there because she's part of the attack.
Right.
Dewey's there because he chooses to be to try to save people.
So I think I might have the title.
What you
And I
got?
think even though he actually became the sheriff, I think it would be fitting because of where he started. Deputy Dewey, protector of Woodsboro, or Woodsboro's protector.
Here's the thing: would she call him Dewey, or would she say Deputy Dwight Riley?
I mean, that could work as well. It would really add to the authenticity of his name, his real name. Like it would add some more seriousness of it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It always seemed like, at least in part 1, that Dewey was a kind of a way for them to not disrespect or make fun of him, but like, you know, there wasn't as much respect there.
Yeah,
with Dewey. It was Dwight. Like, and if she say, you know, Deputy Dwight Riley, Woodsboro's protector, or protector of Woodsboro, something like that, man, I'd be there for that shit. I would be so on board because you could get new clips, like home movie clips with Dewey.
Yep.
Bro, you could bring Dewey back. That's a way to bring him back without retconning his kill.
That is true. Or, I mean, in so many ways, Dewey was kind of the new Randy, even though they tried to portray Mindy as the new Randy. Dewey was actually in Scream 5 established as the new Randy when he presented the rules.
Yeah, he presented the real rules.
You could have him in the homage to Jamie in 3. You could have him do a video before he went to help Sam and them in Scream 5, where he's, you know, doing a video for Cindy and Gail.
I said that last year. I'm like, bro, what if I said that on the live stream last year? What if after he hung up with Gail or hung up with Sydney, he made a video like, hey, I'm going to help these people. This feels different. I just want everyone to know I love them, all this. And that's when then he went to show up. Bro, dude, I'm so fucking excited. There's so many possibilities now. Unfortunately, I am going to have to jump off here. I've been sitting in this parking lot for
wrap up here in a few minutes. But man, I appreciate you stopping in. You know, Destin, if you happen to be, you know, tuning in for a little bit, I know you had to go to work, but both of you guys, I appreciate both of you guys finding time to come hang out and enjoy the stream and talk about this massive news because, guys, we have been waiting for something to come out of the Scream 7 franchise. And not only did they hit us with something, they fucking hit us right in the jaw with the mother load. They hit us with the Mike Tyson uppercut with this one.
Bro, we got a confirmation of writer, confirmation of director, and confirmation of the star all in one day.
Right.
Bro, thanks for having me, man. This has been awesome. I know we're going to talk about this more over the next fucking till the movie comes out. So
you already know, buddy. Man.
But
I can go a lot. I can't wait to do the video. That's like, I mean, I'm going to end up finishing the podcast later on tonight. It's going to be another late night for me. I was up doing merchandise all night and stuff. Speaking of which, I got to post that to the community page. But now I'm going to have to create some more merch as well. But that's going to be my main focus is focusing on, you know, this event, what's going on, and giving my thoughts on all the directions they could go in and subsequently where we could end up at. You know, it's Man, it feels good to say this. It feels wonderful to be a Scream fan.
It's a great day. It's a great day to be a fan of Scream.
Man, wow, man. But buddy, I know you got to get going. We're gonna talk soon, and I will catch you later, my friend.
Have a good one, man.
Yep, you too.
Later.
And Ant-Man, I did see your comment earlier. I hope you're still here hanging out. Saying afternoon, y'all. I'm actually psyched to see Sydney return. Yes, absolutely. I am as well, man. If you cannot tell. It's a great time to be a Scream fan. It's a great day to be a Scream fan. Like, again, we've been waiting for months and months to find out what's going to happen with Scream 7. And again, not only did they drop this crazy big news on us, they hit us with a Mike Tyson uppercut. Nobody saw this news coming. We all speculated could never return. Yeah, sure. I know there was a little bit of foreshadowing a couple weeks ago from Patrick Dempsey at the Taylor Swift concert that a lot of people were talking about with the Hello Sydney, tagline, because the concert was in Sydney, Australia. But none of us really knew 100% what was going on with Scream, if Neve was going to return, so on and so forth. And today, on this day, March 12th, they dropped the mother load on us that not only is Neve Campbell returning, but Kevin Williamson is going to direct, not write, but direct Scream 7. It doesn't get any better than that if you guys ask me. Like, again, this is about legacy. This isn't any other movie if you ask me. This is about the legacy of Wes Craven. This is about the legacy of Scream. This is about the legacy of Kevin Williamson. This is about the legacy of Neve Campbell. This is about all of their legacies, if you ask me. This is why this is happening. And I'm super fucking jazzed. I can't wait to see what is going to happen. Because if there's one thing you can guarantee about Kevin Williamson coming back to the Scream franchise, we are going to get that old school Scream feel that we know and we love from the original 4 movies, so on and so forth. We're going to get that original Wes Craven type of Scream movie. Guys, let's go. I am so excited. Now that this news came out, it's going to be really interesting to see what other news comes out in terms of cast. Is there anybody else that's already, signed on? Patrick Dempsey. Are we going to get something on him here in the next day or two, being that Neve is back? Like, I would expect that we are going to get a fuck ton of news now that we have got this news. We're going to get some more shit coming out of the bag here in a couple days. I really do believe that. Like, wow. I can't. So excited, y'all. Like, so excited. And I was literally only planning on going on live for like an hour talking about this. We are almost approaching 2 hours. I am going to hang out to the 2-hour mark here with you guys because I appreciate you guys all tuning into this live stream, this impromptu live stream, this breaking news, phenomenal live stream. Let's go. Guys, we got what we asked for, so many of us in so many ways. Yes, I know a lot of us want Melissa Barrera to return as Samantha Carpenter. Trust me, I want it too. I had so many fucking theories that are now thrown out the window. But there's always a positive to a negative. And today, the positive is that we got the return of the Queen, rightfully sitting on her throne as she should, as well as the return of OG writer turned director Kevin Williamson. Guys, if you are a Scream diehard, I know you have to be excited. Like, I know I am. But if you aren't, hey, I'm sure there's some that's going to have their reservations about this as well. You know what I mean? All I ask of you is give it a chance. I think Scream 7 is heading in the right direction. I really do. It's such a good time to be a Scream fan right now. This fucking news has just got me like, why? Like, oh my God. Let me get to some of you guys' comments. Ant-Man saying it would be good to make Gail's character kind of take a step forward too, since I feel in part 6 she kind of regressed. I can agree with that for the sole purpose is if this is going to be like a closing out for both her and Neve Campbell, and if you're going to keep both of them alive, then I could definitely see why you would bring Gail to the forefront. Because as I mentioned a few moments ago here with Eric, Scream's story is heavily centered around the rivalry / partnership of one Gale Weathers and Sidney Prescott. So, yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, but again, guys, like, and this is why whoever's going to be cast in this movie is very, very important because just like we said about Scream 6, they didn't really take any risks. Scream 5 took the risk of killing Dewey. And Scream 7, obviously, we're going to have to take some risks. Some of these likable characters got to go. It just has to happen. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see who else is going to be casted for this movie and what roles they're going to be playing. But again, wouldn't mind seeing Gail take a step forward, but I wouldn't mind seeing her go down neither. I really wouldn't. Like, we have to make this movie, we have to feel this shit. We have to hurt in this upcoming movie. We can be happy now that we have Neve and we have Kevin, and we could subsequently think and assume we're going to get Courtney back. But as happy as we are, Scream 7 has to make us hurt to a degree in order for this movie to feel impactful, in order for this movie to mean something. If you just bring these legacy characters back with a bunch of new characters again, and you just kill off the newer characters and none of the legacy characters, it's just going to be like, okay, yeah, cool, this was a legacy movie, but in so many ways we've seen that before with Scream 4. So you got to get a little bit different. So will they kill Gale off? We'll have to wait and see. Most likely they won't, but somebody who's a likable character has to go down. Somebody does, in my opinion, anyway. But again, wouldn't mind seeing her get pushed to the forefront. I mean, it would make a lot of sense because, you know, she has kept Ghostface around. She has always been the one to keep Ghostface around in everybody's memory, you know. So Gale is always an essential part to the Ghostface story. Ant-Man saying, I didn't even realize until now. Dewey made a choice to be there and help Sidney in the sequels. Yeah. Yeah. I always feel like there was a little crush there from Dewey with Sidney, but just never, you know, obviously nothing ever materialized. I think a lot of fans felt that, but there was always a lot of love from Dewey for Sidney. He was going to be there for her no matter what. If he had to travel to another state to go protect her, he was going to do it. And that's why he's such a lovable character. Your guys feel good ideas. There are many ideas that come from this. Absolutely. Yeah, Eric he's awesome. Like, he really is. Like, he has a really great mind, you know, when it comes to storytelling and coming up with ideas and stuff. A lot of us do. All of us do in my own. I would like to speak for all of us here in the community. I feel like a lot of us have our own unique style on how we would like to see Scream 7 and other movies play out. You know, it's not always going to be the same. You're always going to get your variants. But I like to think all of us, we're all in tune with what we like to see in our horror movies. But Eric is definitely a great mind. That boy, he got some shit on his brain for sure. I will always give him credit, man. Like, Eric has definitely got a great mind. Ash versus the Stupid Dead. What's going on? Thanks for stopping in. News kind of shocked me, to be honest. Thought Scream was in big trouble after the Melissa Barrera situation. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was some dark-ass days here the last few months, you know, but today the sun is shining. It is shining and it's shining bright, damn it. Let's go. Oh, man, I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what is going to happen. I can't wait to see who is all going to be in this movie. What other stars are going to join Neve Campbell in Scream 7? Outside of the normals that we expect to be in there, like Courtney Cox, we expect Patrick Dempsey to make a return, maybe Hayden Panettiere. We'll have to wait and see on that. But it's going to be interesting to see who they cast for these roles. I assume it's going to be a star-studded event for sure. But yes, definitely. It's you know, listen. And we have to give them credit. We have to give them credit where credit is due. They kept this shit silent for a while. They kept shit under wraps. They said, okay, Melissa and Jen is out. The core four is basically out. Now we have to regroup. Not only do we want the franchise star Neve Campbell to return, but we're going to shock the hell out of everybody. And we're bringing Kevin Williamson, the original writer, back as well. Again, beat me in the head over this shit. I did not see that coming. Did not see that coming whatsoever. But it's amazing news. It really is, especially from a Kevin Williamson standpoint. Like, I'm so psyched to see him direct this movie because he's such a great mind. Such a great mind. And again, like I said, it's about legacy. Darth Chosen asking, do you think Ghostface's motive is to go after Sydney's family or possibly something related to Stu? Well, see, I think Stu could fit into either one because if Ghostface, let's just say Stu, is coming after Sydney and her family, he would be doing so obviously as a way to get to her, as a way to get under her skin, as a way to manipulate her and stuff like that. He would use her family against her. Like, he would try to do things to harm her family in so many ways to set up this grand finale in this final showdown. Or it could just be something strictly related to Stu that is being brought to the forefront, that is going to culminate in a reveal that maybe not be Stu, but maybe a family member, something like that. I personally think if you're going to have anything that is related to Stu, any Easter eggs, like they did in 5 and 6, Scream 7, you have to make this shit happen. You have to bring the granddaddy of them all into this fucking movie. You have to bring Stu Macher back. You cannot give us no more Easter eggs. I don't want any more Easter eggs. I'm done with the Easter eggs. I'm done with them. If you're going to do shit like this, you got to bring the man back for this next movie. I'm laying the gavel down. Damn, I'm slamming it down. If you're going to give us Stu Macher Easter eggs the way you did in Scream 5 and the way you did in Scream 6, you got to give us the man's return in Scream 7. And I personally think Kevin Williamson is the best director for that direction. Why? Because this was his brainchild for Scream 3 to begin with. He was going to bring Stu back as the leader of a Ghostface cult. We all know this. It's well documented. So if you're going to do this, if you're going to drop Easter eggs of Stu Macher in this next film, in the fucking finale, you better bring the man's reveal. I'm sorry, because if you bring us somebody who is a family member, Leslie Macher, come on. No, we don't want that. We want Stu, damn it. So, Kevin Williamson, being the director of Scream 7, definitely ticks those chances up of Matthew getting his grand return to the Scream franchise all the more possible. Again, I will be heavily disappointed in this movie if we get a bunch of Stu Macher Easter eggs, even in the trailers, anything. If you're going to mention Stu in any type of way, even if it's subtle, you got to bring him back. And I have to mention, Guy Busick is the sole writer. Like Eric and like Destin said earlier, and like I said, he's a Stu truther. He wants to bring Stu back. We have a writer and a director who was the original writer, whose plans have always been to bring this character back. This was Kevin Williamson's initial plan. This is now Guy Busick's plan as well, since he's been entered into the Scream franchise. It sounds all too coincidental for me, and I'm all here for it. I hope they really do bring Stu back for Scream 7. I really, really do. Dark Chosen saying, the moment they reveal Stu's return, I can just imagine you just yelling Stu in a movie theater. Oh, bro, I'm not going to yell Stu. I'm literally just going to be like, that's what the fuck I'm talking about, damn it. Let's go. Like, I'm doing it. I don't care. Shit, I don't care. I'm a very expressive person. I wear my feelings on my sleeve. I don't give a fuck. If I'm excited about something, I'll let y'all know it. Dead serious. Just like in the Halloween 2018 movie, when we got that scene where Michael threw Laura's ass over the top of the fucking balcony, and he turned because he heard Allison's voice coming through the front door. And then he turned his head back to look at Lori, and she was gone. I stood mad loud in the theater, and everybody followed suit. So I don't care. I'm very expressive. If they bring Stu back and Charlie Walker, I don't know how, likely that is, especially with Kevin Williamson now. But I would love to see both come back, but especially Stu. But I had to put that Charlie plug in there. Y'all know how I feel about my boy Charlie Walker. And I will say this, and I'm going to talk about it in my main video talking about this. I'll probably do like a 10, 15-minute video. Probably going to be like a 15-minute video talking about this shit or whatever. But if they do go in the direction of Scream 4, like picking up after the events of Scream 4 and ignoring 5 and 6, it's a possibility. There's a possible small shred of hope we could get Charlie Walker back in the Scream franchise. Fingers crossed. It is interesting to note that Roy Culkin is going to be at the convention in Florida with Melissa Barrera and other Scream alumni. So I'm just saying, bring the boy back. Bring both of them back. I told y'all, I've been telling y'all here for a while now, for over a year, since Scream 6. So basically since after Scream 5, once I start noticing all these Charlie Walker Easter eggs. Y'all know how I feel. I want Charlie Walker and I want Stu Macher both to be revealed to be alive and working together. I think that is just the perfect pair. I really do. But we'll have to wait and see. Ant-Man saying Ash versus stupid dead. Chad may be the main pincushion like Dewey was, but I think that's the only reason why people compare them. No, I don't think that is neither. I think when you look at Chad's character, he is very much like Dewey in so many ways because he's a protector. He wants to be there and stuff to make sure that these girls are safe. You saw that a lot in Scream 6 especially. They could have, even Tara said to him, if you want to skip town, you can, I understand. He said, no, I'm going to stay here. You could chalk it up, oh, yeah, because he had the warm fuzzies for Tara. One way or another, it's just like with Dewey with Gail, Dewey with Sydney, how I just mentioned. I always felt Dewey had some warm fuzzies for Sydney. Doesn't matter. The fact is that character, much like Dewey, Chad's character, was basically put as the new Dewey in terms of a protector as well, not just a pincushion. That's just my opinion, though. All right, guys, so I'm going to close it up here with these last couple comments, and then I'm going to call it a stream. But I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys who did stop in and hang out and talk about this massive breaking news for Scream 7 and the return of Neve Campbell and Kevin Williamson. If you guys haven't done so already, shoot the stream a like. Like I said, it definitely helps out. Share the stream on all your social media platforms. If you happen to be a new viewer that is going to come across the replay of this stream, shoot the subscribe button. Shoot that notification bell so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. There's definitely going to be a lot of Scream news to come here after the events. So if you're a Scream fan, you definitely want to be here for it and stuff. And just other horror movie content in general. I've been talking about The Strangers, Saw. I'm trying to get into some other horror movies, even old school horror movies. Been watching some more 2024 horror movies. I'm actually going to be coming out with a review for Camp Pleasant Lake within the next couple days, maybe to a week. Actually like that new little slasher for 2024. But again, if you happen to catch this replay, shoot the subscribe button, shoot the notification bell so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. And most importantly, shoot a like on this stream. The more likes this stream gets, the more the algorithm pushes it out. And I greatly, greatly appreciate it because I want a lot of people to catch up and watch this stream and share their comments in the comment section, much like you guys are, about this massive news of Neve Campbell and Kevin Williamson's return to the Scream franchise. So, okay, yeah. See, because something's acting up over here on this computer, so I got to use this computer for the comments. So there we go. The stuff they survived was nuts, says Ash versus the Stupid Dead. Yeah, I agree. That's why I say in Scream 7, you got to kill off some of these characters, man. You got to kill off some of these legacy characters or some of these likable characters. You can't just keep having these characters survive crazy-ass attacks and not kill them. So, We gotta take some risks. Ash versus the Stupid Dead says, I highly doubt any of the OG Scream killers survive, to be honest. Would love to see Stu return, but I don't see bro walking that off. I do. I really, really do. And I tend to look to real life events to where somebody has taken more and more punishment than what Stu did in that movie in terms of what was supposed to be his death. And those people are still walking and working functionally today. So I respect your opinion, and that's something that the Scream franchise has never done. They have never brought a dead killer back like we've seen with all the other horror franchises. But I think that's why it all the more needs to happen, because it would be a first for the Scream franchise. And it should be the only time. If you're going to do it, you bring back Stu Macher, number one. If you're going to add Charlie Walker to that equation, hey, you'll make me happy. But if not, I understand. It has to all make sense. So one way or another, in my opinion, I think it would be cool for them to go this route because it has never been done in the franchise before, and they wanted to do it before, and they didn't get to do it. So let's go. Let's ramp this shit up, y'all. Like, for real. I'm ready to roll. Like, I can't wait. Ash versus the Stupid Deads. Surviving what he survived in Scream 6 was BS. Happy he survived, but ain't no way he survived. Also, hot take, I will not mind if they kill Gail. Have a love-hate relationship with her, to be honest. I agree with you. I wouldn't be mad if they killed Gail neither. I wouldn't. I think it should have happened in Scream 6, and they just didn't pull the trigger. But, all right, guys, I am going to call it a wrap for this stream. I greatly appreciate every single one of you who stopped in today and hung out talking about this massive news for the Scream franchise, for Scream 7. Neve Campbell is back. Kevin Williamson is back as director. Like, guys, it's a great day to be a Scream fan. It's a great time to be a Scream fan, especially after all the bullshit that we had to endure for the last few months. So, of course, like I said earlier, expect a lot of news to come out after this. I would expect that if she's got the script, then they at least have a few cast members who also have the script. The one I'm really looking out for is Patrick Dempsey. I'm really interested to see if he is going to be returning to this film, to this franchise in this film. I think it is very, very likely that he will, given all the rumors that we heard that this was the wish list for Spyglass, was to bring Patrick Dempsey in alongside Neve Campbell. So I think it's safe to say he should be in this movie. Hayden Panettiere is the wild card. I know that she had took up for Melissa Barrera in the aftermath of, Melissa's situation. I don't know how that will sit with the studio. We'll have to wait and see. But one way or another, now that this news has come out for Scream 7, you can expect a bunch more news to come out. And, of course, you're going to get your leaks and all that stuff. And there's going to be some that I might talk about that sound interesting and stuff like that, these little leaks and stuff. But I want you guys to keep in mind when I do that, when I do talk about some of these leaks don't even really turn out to be true. They're just rumors and stuff, fake scripts that are going to end up getting pushed out there that might be an interesting read. Some of the stuff might actually be in the movie, but none of it really ever turns out to be what they say to be. So we're going to get a bunch of that now that this news for Scream 7 has come about. I'm going to put it to you this way. I'm guaranteed by the end of the week, we're going to get news on Scream 7 in terms of leaks and all that stuff. Oh, this script leak, this is what's going to happen, so on and so forth, all the good stuff and all like that. So, again, guys, great time to be a Scream fan. This was definitely a fun stream. Shoot the like button if you haven't already. If you watched the replay, shoot the like button, shoot the subscribe button, shoot the notification bell so you get all the latest content updates to the channel, and I will catch you guys later.
You are now watching I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel.
I shot him 6 times.